Good afternoon, everybody. I think just going to wait just a minute or so just for people to join. But welcome to our webinar today about embracing what's now fondly termed the new normal. So we look forward to talking that through with you shortly. So we'll just wait another 30 seconds or so, and then I'll do a quick intro, and then we'll get cracking. Right, super. Look, as I said, look, thanks very much for making the time this afternoon to join our session. My name is Paul Mander. I'm Procurement Director at Bloom Procurement Services, and we really appreciate you joining today. We've got a really good session. We're going to kick things off in a minute, but I'm just going to go over a couple of very quick housekeeping notes. We are recording the session today, so we'll be sharing a copy of this for all those that have registered. So just be aware of that. You will notice that I think mics and cameras are off. This is generally helped with connectivity we've found in the past, but please do feel free to use the question function down at the bottom, where we'll bring you into the conversation. And you can also kind of ask questions live. So please do feel free. You can kind of raise your hand. We'll do our best to kind of incorporate, bring you in at the right time. If you have got any technical issues, Matthew Garrett is going to put his email address in the chat box now. So he hopefully will be able to help you with any minor technical issues. I don't want to kind of suggest he's going to be able to come and reformat your laptop during the webinar, but you never know. So listen, I think we're all kind of very familiar now with this term of the new normal, and we're probably all been forced to a certain extent to embrace that new way of working, and particularly kind of around the workplace. Unbelievably, really, 18 months since the first lockdown, and I think probably like many people, I probably thought at the time that it might be a couple of weeks and then we'd be back to normal. So the fact that it's gone on for this long is quite something. Now, I'm really delighted, you know, given the new normal and the way that we work. We've set this webinar up. I'm actually in our offices in Gateshead, which is fantastic. It's nice to be kind of back in the office environment. But I'm really delighted to be joined by James Hull, who is our technology director at Bloom, and also our kind of expert panelists as well, who will introduce themselves when we move into the breakout room. So I'll allow them to do that, but first want to kind of extend my thanks to them for being involved. I think that from our perspective, obviously, everybody's had to evolve. We've had to adapt to a new workplace, and remote and flexible working has become the new normal. Lockdown is continuing to be eased, but I think there is a sort of element of trepidation about what that might mean for the future, for the next few months, in particular as we come into kind of autumn and winter, what that might mean, and actually having flexibility is absolutely key. Everything's changed really. You know, as I said, I'm actually in our office today, but we've had, you know, walls taken down in our office to facilitate socially distanced working. We've limited face-to-face meetings. And we've had very much kind of flexible start-finish times to the day for many of our staff to accommodate new working practices. What it's meant really is that there's been a complete organisational transformation in a lot of cases. Bloom work predominantly with the public sector, and actually we've seen organisations who have only just, you know, in the last week or so have started to filter back to the office. So after all that time, it's things have changed quite significantly. But this has, had a massive impact on technology. It's had a massive impact on people, and actually a massive impact on staff well-being, culture, staff retention, has all been issues that we're faced with right now. So some of this has been really welcome. I think, it's safe to say it's pushed organisations to move to a different way of working very, very quickly. But we're also aware of, challenges caused by very quick kind of ICT technology upgrades, challenges with kind of workplace policies, challenges with keeping staff engaged. And that has happened very, very quickly. So from our point of view, we've been supporting at Bloom a lot of public sector organisations with some of those challenges. And as I said before, delighted to be joined by some of our suppliers today who've been delivering some fantastic projects for the public sector through Bloom. So we can talk a bit more about those through the breakout sessions. We've got 2 breakout rooms today, and we really want you to kind of get involved as much or as little as you'd like. But we do really want to hear from you about kind of your experiences and how how you think the future is going to pan out. You can absolutely type in the chat window, or you can raise your hand if you wish. So in breakout room 1, we're going to be discussing the kind of digital revolution around the new normal, joined by Stuart Meluish and Tim Pitts, facilitated by James Hull, as I kind of introduced earlier, and I'll allow them to introduce themselves when we go into the breakout rooms. In breakout room 2, I'm going to be facilitating that with Nigel Walters and Zubin Khan from Working Time Solutions and People2, respectively. And again, they'll be kind of give a chance to introduce themselves in a moment.